They knew they just wanted to like rock. They didn't want to hear his country shit. Yeah.
Yeah. But people want to hear your country shit.
They do.
And
This sounds like me, and I love it.
But she slipped through my fingers, and I've got time on my hands.
We're back to country music, brother.
Yeah, we are.
And I love it.
Before going any further, be sure to subscribe to our channel. We appreciate that so much.
That's a fine album, but let's not get too carried away with an 84-year-old music legend cutting an album, slapping a country label on it, and then trumpeting that fact for publicity and to generate excitement. Because the minute you stick Sir Ringo Starr in front of a camera, put a cowboy hat on his head, and announce from the rooftops he's releasing a country album, you damn well better deliver on that promise. Otherwise, I'm compelled to raise an objection. Look Up is by no means a bad album. There's not one song or moment on it that will offend a country music fan. As a matter of fact, it's a pretty pleasant listen once you settle into it. The frustration lies in the choices made during its creation and what could have been. It's a disjointed album if you don't consider one thing. The primary songwriter and producer was T-Bone Burnett. To the uninitiated, Ringo Starr has some legitimate country music cred. He covered and played on several Beatles songs that bore significant country leanings, including a cover of Buck Owens' Act Naturally that appeared on the Beatles' 1965 Help album. In 1970, Ringo took it a step further and unleashed a proper country album, appropriately titled Beaucoups of Blues. Beaucoups of Blues was realized due to the efforts of Country Music Hall of Fame, steel guitarist, extraordinaire Pete Drake, who was said to take a shine to Ringo. He whisked him away to Nashville and presented him with several of the better songwriters and session players to work with at the time. Guitar icons Charlie Daniels and Jerry Reed appear, pedal steel from Pete Drake, harmonica from Charlie McCoy, and backing vocals by the Jordanaires. Beaucoups of Blues is no landmark country record, but for once Nashville threw itself around a music legend, resulting in fun. Even sweet somehow. Look Up only just misses here. In spades, there were many top-drawer, uncatalogued songs available and on tap and wanting for documentation. Instead, T-Bone Burnett composes 9 of the 11 tracks here himself, and it seems so. Simplistic writing makes up a good chunk of this stuff. Names like Billy Strings, Molly Tuttle, Alison Krauss, and Larkin Poe show up on the track list and naturally raise expectations regarding their great instrumental talents. T-Bone Burnett instead chose to relegate these first-class musicians to rhythm sections and backup parts. The result is instrumentation that isn't just unremarkable. It feels muted and absent. Sure, some songs indeed get that country atmosphere across. Time on My Hands, the lead single, was country-ish in steel guitar. Come Back brings out a harmony of Lucius that pulls this across into that western, silver screen-like feel. Then, with Rosetta, it introduces that halftime outlaw beat brought on by Larkin Poe. Finally, the 9th song, You Want Some, presents an overall direct feel toward country. Still, Look Up is more Americana than country, with its genre-less, wandering, and indistinct sound. While Americana can sometimes shine through great songwriting, the tracks here don't have much to say. This project began when Ringo Starr asked T-Bone Burnett to write a song for him. Instead, Burnett wrote 9 and crafted the entire album. One can't help but wonder if he envisioned this album more for himself than for Ringo. That said, there is nothing inherently bad about Look Up. Once you accept it for what it is, rather than what you had hoped it would be, it becomes an agreeable listen. It carries much of that innocent charm and optimism that Ringo Starr brings to much of his work. This album could have been a meaningful late-career highlight for Ringo, just as Beaucoups of Blues was an early milestone in his solo journey. Instead, Look Up feels destined to fade into obscurity.